So if you've not heard of me before, my name is Anna Kitney. I'm the founder and director of Bergeon. We are the UK's leading theatre training organisation. So we have about 40 live events in London. So I've just finished teaching the basic and advanced class, and I'm due to teach Dig Deeper and Game of Life this week and over next weekend. So yeah, I think some of you just logged back in. So welcome back, welcome back. Hi Teresa, hello my lovely. Kimberly, hello, hello. Okay, so this is going to be a very interactive and practical Facebook Live. So make sure you have a pen and paper to hand. We'll get you guys to do some exercises. I am really, really excited about this particular topic. I'm in the midst of reading a really powerful book that was recommended to me by my coach. It's called The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks. It's kind of a coaching book. It is unbelievable, unbelievable. I've known of this concept for quite a long time when I was mentored years ago by a man called John Canary. If you're a student of mine, you've probably heard me mention him many, many times. He was a big impact in my life in my early 20s and 30s in my personal growth and business growth. And so he talked about the kind of the thermostat that we all have, the limit, the internal limit or gauge we have on just how happy we can be, how much money we can earn, how amazing our relationships can be, or like this cap that we have. And so John Canary talks about this like internal thermostat that we have, and it's like a setting that if we go over, it's beyond our comfort zone, and we create sabotage to put ourselves back into our lower setting. So let me give you an example, real good example. So years and years ago, when I was working in the design industry, my background is design advertising. I've worked with some of the leading ad agencies in London, including Saatchi's and Publicis. And I was working on a big project for a property developer. I won't mention which property developer it was, but I was working on a big project. I was doing the designing of the marketing show suite, so your sales journey through the show suite to buy a new build property. I was designing the graphics for it, the banner stands, and also the actual show apartments as well. So it was a huge project, and normally at that time, I would invoice monthly to the agency I was working with, and the average invoice would be about £2,500. That was the average invoice. So each month I would do about £2,500 worth of work, doing various designs for them. And all of a sudden, I had to invoice them for a big project. So I couldn't invoice them until our project was finished. And so when I finally invoiced them, it was £10,000 worth of work, 10,000. It was the biggest invoice I'd ever sent out. And I was so excited. I thought, great, I've broken my upper limit, amazing. And I started thinking, yeah, I'm going to earn 10,000 every month. And then guess what happened? So next month, no money. The month after that, no money. The month after that, no money. Basically, all my income stopped. The companies actually stopped sending me new work. And for about 4 months, that basically no work was coming in. They just didn't have projects for me, and I wasn't earning any income until at such point, like basically, if you average out £10,000 over the space of say, to the equal of £2,500 every month, I will then start getting work again. So essentially, I had this set point that I can't earn 10,000 a month. So basically, I stopped earning for the next 3-4 months afterwards, no money, until then I started earning again. It went up to like 1,200, then to 1,600. And then to 1,800. Some of my subconscious went, oh, I'm worth more than 1,800 a month. And then I went back up to my set point of about 2,000 and a half, 3,000. And it kind of sat there for a long, long time. And so, as you can understand, it's probably incredibly frustrating. So if you have felt like that, where no matter how hard you worked, no matter how many projects you took on, you have this like upper limit that you can't bust through that particular income. So you may go from job to job, but somehow at the end of the month, you end up with the same amount of money. Maybe it's the same kind of relationships that, it gets really, really good. The relationship gets really, really good. Maybe you're having sex and it's amazing, and they're taking you out for dinner and you're really, really happy, and your subconscious says to yourself, it's too good to be true. Right? Who's felt like that? It's too good to be true. And so then what happens is you find a way to sabotage it. You get into an argument, okay? You obligate them to let you down or betray you. Something happens and you guys break up. And so you're back into your set point of believing that you don't deserve long-term lasting love, that real love doesn't exist. It's like it's too good to be true. And so I think we've all experienced times when like things, amazing things happened, really amazing things. Maybe you got the soulmate of your dreams, you know, the person that you wrote down on your vision board, you finally got that person. Or maybe you bust through that block and really hit a big, big month. And then the next month or the month after, you found yourself back to your old set point and absolutely devastated and really stuck. So as I've been reading The Big Leap, he's basically, Gay has come up with basically four categories, which creates this, what we call the upper limit, your upper limit. So the first one is a belief that you feel you are fundamentally flawed, that there's somewhere in your subconscious you think, there's something wrong with me. There's something wrong with me. So who's felt like that? Let me know. Who's felt like there's something wrong with you? Love to hear that. Gosh, there's so many people on the line. Well, welcome. Welcome. Hello, Brittany. You're back. Hello, my lovely. Hello. Violetta. Hi. Hello, Violetta. I miss you. I miss all my old students. Got my newbies now. Osami. Hello, my lovely. Okay, yeah. So yeah, eek. I need to sustain it. Yeah, you feel you have to sustain this limit that you have. Okay, Ella saying yes. I had the situation. Yeah, I think it's the whole human experience, guys. We have this upper limit of just how happy we can be or how prosperous we can be. Okay, lots of yeses. Fantastic, great. So you guys are on the right Facebook Live. Aviva's saying, if I earn more money, I ask myself if I'm worth that much. Interesting. Yes, Aviva, if you haven't listened to my other Facebook Lives, they've been saved. I would encourage you to listen to my previous ones, the last kind of 3 or 4. That's going to give you some energy clearing on money and look at increasing your self-worth. So I've had a few clients come back and they said they've listened to the Facebook Lives, and obviously they're free to you guys. And people have had increases in income and increases in self-worth. So lots of yeses. Amazing. Okay, so I've felt at times there was something wrong with me. And this could have stemmed from, being born as a child and, being compared to a sibling, and your parents say, well, why can't you be more like your sister? Why can't you be more like your brother? And so you think, oh, there must be something wrong with me. Maybe I'm broken. Maybe I'm damaged. I can't do what they can do. Maybe an older sibling was maybe the clever one and you were the artsy one, and so you got constantly compared. Why can't you get the maths or the English? Why do you have to struggle with your homework? And it's like you're thinking, oh, there must be something wrong with me. But actually you just happen to be more intuitive and creative, artistic, and maybe your sibling was more academic. So a feeling that there is something fundamentally wrong with you. So beliefs like, I am a mistake, I am broken, I don't belong, I don't fit in, I'm different, I don't fit in. So it's like an outcast energy. And so generally the people that have these beliefs, they tend to hide, they tend to be invisible. So I had to work a lot on my beliefs about there's something wrong with me, so that I could become visible in my business. Obviously, that's why I'm here on Facebook Live, because I've created my visibility programs. Because it takes courage to put yourself out there in front of the world and and say your truth, because not everybody will agree with it. So people who generally have this belief of feeling flawed, they will hide their success. They won't allow themselves to be visible. In the workplace, they won't declare their success. They'll tend to hide that. Anything they do, they think is broken. And then there's like a feeling also of feeling like a fraud, that if you do create success, that somehow you faked it, you fluked it. Maybe somebody helped you, and actually the person that helped you, they really were the clever ones, and you were just tagging along. So there's this feeling of, well, I couldn't have done it without them. That that somehow you're feeling maybe I'm a fake, I'm a fraud, I'm not really as good as people think I am. And with that, there's this feeling of shame and embarrassment, and hence wanting to hide. The next one is feeling that if you reach your upper limit, if you go beyond your upper limit and create success in money or love, that somehow you're being disloyal to your family. So let me give you an example. As you become more and more successful, your wealth consciousness increases. So say, for example, that you all of a sudden you start to double your income. You double your annual salary. You can afford a nicer home, nicer clothes, a nicer car. How do your friends and family react to your success? Okay, your old friends you used to hang out with, are they happy for you, or are they jealous? Are they poo-pooing you? Are they putting you down? Are they thinking, well, who do you think you are? Do you think you're better than us because you earn more money? Maybe you're doing something illegal or dodgy to get more money. Maybe you're ripping people off to get that money. So these are all kind of, I guess, insults that people can send you. And also a feeling that somehow if you do create success and outgrow your family and friends, that you'll have you'll have different interests, you'll have different conversations. So as you raise your wealth consciousness, the level of conversation you have will be different. So the things that you'll talk about will be different to the things you used to talk about at the lower frequency. So you're not worried about, where you're going to sleep or who can you borrow money from. You're looking to how can I up level my business and reinvest in my business? What coach can I get? What mentor can I get? Whereas if somebody who's just literally struggling to pay the rent, they can't even think about hiring a coach or a mentor. Their awareness is not in that space. Their awareness is in survival. But as you increase your income, you can allocate a part of your income from your business or from the money that you earn to getting a coach and a mentor to up level you to the next stage in your business. So you have that awareness. So people who are struggling to pay their rent, your old friends, they're like, they just don't, they won't get you. So this feeling of that you're going to abandon your family, you're being disloyal, or somehow you're not honoring the people that helped you in the early days, right? Somehow you're being ungrateful, that you're being hedonistic, that they're thinking, well, you're too good for us. Who do you think you are? Well, we don't want you. This is this feeling that either you're abandoning them or they'll reject you and they'll make you the outcast, like you don't belong to us. You're not one of us anymore. And this feeling that, you're going to leave your family behind, because sometimes this is your family. This may be your mother, your father, your brother and sister who are still stuck, who are rejecting your help and support. So I know I've got a lot of theta healers on the line, and you've got relatives and family. And how many of you have said, hey, I know this powerful technique, theta healing, it can change your mindset. It can change limiting beliefs into empowering ones. And when you change how you think, you can change your reality. You can create all the abundance in your life that you want: more money, more happiness, more love, better health. And they're like, oh, this sounds too good to be true, right? Oh, this is that woo-woo crap. Yeah, or this can't work. Are you crazy? A meditational process can make you more abundant. So I think many energy healers and therapists have experienced, family members poo-pooing what you do, because they don't understand, they don't get it. And so it can be hurtful when your own family reject you for, the potential that you have to be able to help them. And you can feel quite powerless when you're trying to help someone who doesn't want to be helped. And it's painful to watch families suffer knowing that you can help them, but they don't want to be helped. So you can't allow yourself to be held back by them, to try and belong to them and be at that level, because you can't help them that way. You can't help yourself that way. And if you're in this work, if you're in the healing arena, you have promised people. You have people here on this planet that you're here to serve. You may not know this, but every soul has a purpose, every soul. And if you're in the healing industry, a wellness warrior, a life coach or a business coach, you are here to serve lots and lots of people in one-to-one, in groups. And so you can't serve them if you are hiding, if you're playing small and being invisible just so you can get your parents' approval. You would do a disservice. You do a disservice to humanity. So do it for yourself. And really do it so that you can impact more people. And at such point, maybe your family will be ready. Once they see you're creating success and they see that it's real, at some point they may be ready to join you. But you can't hold yourself back. So focus on those that wish to be served rather than those that don't. So years ago, Bob Proctor would say, in terms of family, like he would say, don't go as often, don't stay as long. I love that. Because sometimes it's family that try and pull you down. It's well-meaning friends that try and pull you down. Okay, so the next number three block to upper limit. Success is a burden. Who feels like more money means more responsibility? More money may mean more work. Yeah, more success means more people relying on you to help them, to save them, right? So this is a limiting belief that somehow more success is going to be a burden to you. And this could be a feeling that somehow you were a burden. When you were asking for help and support, when you were asking for somebody to help you to achieve something, that perhaps you were feeling that you were a burden to somebody else. That if you needed, help, learning a new skill, that somehow you were a burden. But also feeling that, somehow if for me to earn more money, I have to work 2 jobs or I have to work twice as hard. So this is a complicated belief, but basically it's a link between more time equals more money, which is not true. It's not true. So what if you could unlink between I have to work twice as hard for twice the money to I can earn twice the amount of money in half the time. That how amazing would that feel? Twice as much money for half the time. So when I started to bust through my upper limits, I was looking at my accounts, and every year I get my accounts from my accountant, and I was stuck. I was stuck at about 250 for about 3-4 years. The turnover of my business was 250,000. I was stuck on that. I was like, why can't I bust through? This was my new upper limit. So I went from earning 25, 30,000, 40,000 pounds a year. I entered the healing arena. I managed to incrementally increase it, and then I got stuck at this around about 217, 220, 250. I was like, right, what do I need to clear in order to achieve more? And this was around letting go that success was a burden. The moment I shifted that mindset, I hired team. So some of my students, you guys know me. So for a long time when I was teaching my classes, I would get the manuals printed. I would pack all the manuals and books, put all the stickers on the manuals. I'll put the stuff into a box. I'd order the taxi, put the stuff in the taxi, get to the hotel that morning early, set up the room, do the check-ins, collect the money, teach the class, finish teaching the class, do the after-sales care, pack up the banner stands, put everything back into a taxi, take it all home, and it would sit in my hallway just here for like a week or two. My poor husband would just be upset with me because my crap was everywhere. So if you've ever run events, there's a lot of gear, and I was tired. I mean, I was younger then as well, so I had more energy, but I can't do that anymore. I can't. And as I started to bring on team, I leveraged my time by getting support. And so the moment I brought on support, I no longer felt like success was a burden, that I could delegate. So the moment I brought on my team, my income increased in my business. Okay. So I obviously had to pay salaries, but my income more than covered it. So my income increased. So I then hit my new upper limit, which I'm trying to bust through now. So I hired a new coach. I'm so excited. Her name is Ali Brown. I've been wanting to coach with her for about 10 years. Basically, she won't work with you unless you're earning $500,000 to £1 million. That's basically where that's her level. So I'm quite nervous and quite scared, but I'm also excited. And she's the one that actually mentioned this book to us. And so, she's going to help me bust my upper limit. So the next one, outshining others. So maybe you had a sibling, and maybe you had a skill or a talent that was maybe better than that person. And so maybe your mother and father, when they saw you outperform, maybe it was academically, maybe you were the A grade student shining brightly, and your poor sibling was really struggling. And so you came home with the A plus, the certificate, or the gold ribbon. I was quite athletic at school, so I was getting the gold ribbon, always getting the first in the 100, 200 meter races. The breaststroke and the butterfly. I was very athletic, very competitive as well. I like to win, and so my siblings weren't as athletic. So when I came home with yet another ribbon, it's like there was this disappointment. Like just don't try and boast too much. Boasting is not apparently not a nice virtue. You're going to make others jealous. That you make others feel bad with your success. So then you learn to like numb down your success. They'll say, oh, congratulations, you've just, won the award. Oh, it was nothing. It was okay. It happened because of this and this and this. And you make excuses for why you created success. So you're like diluting your success. You're not even allowed to celebrate it or enjoy it. And this is something I've realized recently is I was listening to a recording by a coach, and she's saying, right, you've just signed up for this coaching program. I want you to celebrate your success. I'm like, why would I do that? But actually, as I was thinking about it the last few days, like, yes, when you reach a certain point in your career, you should celebrate with a success, whether it's a glass of champagne or a spa day, a gift to yourself, celebrate and let people around you that love you and know you to celebrate that success with you. So, I celebrate with my husband. If I have a huge breakthrough, instead of hiding my success, I celebrate with him and we kind of do high fives. Awesome. Yes, guys, we do that at home as well. I do it in class and we do it at home. I do my high fives with my husband, my kids. Awesome. We do that. We do. So what I teach in class, I do the same thing at home. It's not two set of rules. So those are kind of the 4 blocks to the upper limit. So when you're reaching your upper limit, when you're trying to, you're getting close to your success. You've created some amazing success, whether it's hitting a new level of your income or this amazing new soulmate you've attracted that you're like, you can't believe, oh my God, like I've manifested my perfect soulmate. And then you start to worry. You worry. Oh my God, what if he finds out that I'm not as fantastic as I think I am? Maybe he'll find out that I'm not as rich, or maybe he'll find out that, maybe I don't look as good without makeup. Maybe he'll find out that, my background is not the best breeding. And, maybe he'll find out that, I've got these bad habits. And so you start to worry, and then, and you guys can create some amazing things in your mind. Your mind can create all sorts of scenarios. So if something wonderful and successful and amazing happens in your life, you almost start to imagine the worst case scenario. It's like, what happens if I get into a car crash? What if something happens and I lose my kids? You start to imagine these that would never ever happen. Never ever ever happen. I had a student in class recently, and she's a single parent, and and her deepest fear was that she was going to die, and then no one will be taking care of her children. And I said, you kind of know that that's like a nearly impossible chance of happening. Like, you are not going anywhere. You are not going to die. You're going to be here for a while. You're going to put your child through school, university. It's all going to be fine. But the subconscious kind of created this, let me spoil my happiness by imagining a worst case scenario to spoil my fun, to bring you back down to this lower limit. Another one is deflection. This is someone compliments you. They go, oh, congratulations on your pay rise or your promotion. You're like, oh, it was nothing. I did have to work hard for it, and this person deserved it as well. So I'm happy they chose me, but if they hadn't chosen me, this person deserves it as well. Or they can compliment you. Oh, you look fantastic. You've lost weight. You look amazing. What are you doing? Like, oh, it's nothing. I've just been doing some juicing, and these clothes actually are very slimming. So I'm actually, a little bit chubbier than what I look. I've got these special jeans on, and I'm wearing my Spanx underwear, so that's why I look thinner. So then we deflect. We don't accept those compliments. And so really learning to accept a compliment. Next, if you get too happy, we create conflicts and arguments. So it could be you're in a restaurant and you're having a lovely romantic dinner. You've ordered the best dish on the menu. You've got a beautiful glass of champagne in your hand. You're wearing a gorgeous dress. You're having wonderful conversation with a soulmate, and something happens and you get into an argument, and then the entire dinner is ruined. You storm out, you leave, you catch a taxi home. He's trying to text you and you block him, and you've made a mountain out of a molehill. You've spoilt the date because your subconscious went, it can't be this good. It can't be this true. Yeah. So another one, just thinking of some of my students, sickness, illness, and accidents. So when things get really, really good, you get momentum, starting to build momentum in your business, or getting momentum and getting to the gym. You're starting to go 3 days a week, you're doing your yoga classes, you're doing your juicing, and then you fall sick. Then you're off, you're sick in bed for 4 days, you can't go to the gym. I'm getting lots of hearts. I'm assuming you guys are resonating. Getting sick, or even an accident, hurting an ankle, then you have to like limp to work, or you can't get to work, or you can't, get into your heels to go on that date, plaster cast, all sorts of interesting scenarios. So you create some sort of sickness, illness, or accident because you've reached your upper limit. So yeah, it's a fascinating read. I really encourage you to get this book, The Big Leap. I'm absolutely loving it. I was so excited sharing it with my husband. So after I finished, he's getting it. And so the next thing I want to cover is the comfort zone. So everything you want is inside your comfort zone. So I'm just going to draw your chart for you so you can understand what we mean. Right, probably needed a bigger piece of paper. Right. So right now where you are in your life is in your comfort zone, okay? So here is your comfort zone. This is the level of your income, okay? this is if you kind of look at your income over the last, say, 3-4 years. So if you've got a piece of paper, jot that down. What has been your average income? Maybe you've got an incremental increase. Maybe you changed jobs. Maybe you went from full-time to part-time. Maybe your company had trouble and you had to take a decrease. I want you to write down the average income for the last 3-4 years. What kind of income have you been on? Okay, the last 3-4 years. That's going to tell you what you believe you are worth. Okay, what you believe you are worth, and this is obviously within your comfort zone. Okay, and then also you want to write down like your weight. You know, in the last 3-4 years, what has been your average size and weight? Are you an 8, a 10, a 12, a 14, a 16, an 18, a 20, and so forth? What has been your average weight? I know most people tend to yo-yo. That's kind of a common thing. But on average, what is your average weight and size? What have you been for the last 3-4 years? That will tell you again. It's almost like your default setting for how you see yourself. So no matter how much you exercise, how much healthy food you eat, you seem to be stuck on that particular size or shape. That's in your comfort zone. Next is your friends. So thinking about the kind of friends you have. So there's a quote in Jim Rohn which basically says, your income is the average of 5 of your closest friends. Now that should be quite insightful. Who are you spending the most amount of time with? Okay, so if you're wanting to increase your income, just hang out with wealthier people. It's a simple process. It's a simple process. But at first we feel like we're a fraud, like we don't belong in a new circle, right? So you do some belief work. Okay, so if anything allows you to clear some of your beliefs about your self-worth, and there's a link between money means somehow you're more worthy, because that's not true. Everyone's worthy, but we use money as a measurement of worth in Western society, and it's completely incorrect. There are many people doing amazing work and either getting paid very little or not even getting paid at all, but are doing phenomenal work on this planet, yet still are very, very worthy. So then, what kind of friends are you hanging out with? What's your circle of friends that's in your comfort zone? Okay, home. Currently, where you are living right now, the monthly rent you're paying or the monthly mortgage is also your comfort zone, what you feel comfortable in paying every single month. Okay, now when we're manifesting, this is an exercise I'll take you through when we do the Thinking Game of Life course. I'm going to take you through an exercise. It's going to help you identify what you're wanting as your goals, what you would really like, which is your stretch zone. So your stretch zone is how much money would you like to earn? So say, for example, right now, let's just say, so if you are say you're on 40,000 a year, that's your income, 40,000. Okay, and you want to earn more money. And so right now for you, you believe that you could earn more. But you don't know how just yet, but you believe that you could be worth more, and you would like to make that, say, maybe let's put 65,000. Okay, so right now you're on 40,000, but you like 60,000, 65,000. That's in your stretch zone. Okay, that's what we mean. It feels a bit of a stretch. It would require maybe a promotion, for example, or if you've in your own company, it would require maybe creating a new project, a new campaign, maybe bringing on more team. But it's a stretch. Yeah. It doesn't feel unbelievable. So if it's an unbelievable figure, it's not your stretch zone. It needs to feel believable. So maybe if you go from 40 to maybe 50 is believable for you. Now, if you were to put 1 million, okay, 1 million would probably be in what I call your freak out zone, If you're on 40,000 and you're wanting 65, that's all reversed. I'll get the hang of this in a minute. Bear with me. That's it. It's all reversed. I'm more confused. 65,000 and you're wanting 1 million. 1 million is in your freak out zone. So 1 million would be awesome, but you're thinking there's no way in hell. That's never going to happen. I've never done it. It'll take me years to get there. This is what we call freak out zone, right? That's my own definition. So what we're focusing on is getting you from your comfort zone to your stretch zone. So this line here, this circle here is your upper limit, So every time you try and increase your income, get a better soulmate, get better friends, you hit against this upper limit where it's no longer comfortable. It's like you're in uncertainty. It's something you've never done before. You're doubting yourself, and all your beliefs come up about your self-worth. Am I leaving people behind? Will I have to do twice as much work to achieve this? Will I never get to see my family? It's like all this story starts to happen in our mind. It's like the monkey mind starts really saying it's not safe, you're not good enough, who do you think you are, it's not possible, right? That voice, that voice. That's what you hit against every time you try and move from your comfort zone to your stretch zone. So at some point, you had to learn to read. And when you first were learning to read, you're learning your ABCs and putting words together, sounding it out. At first, it felt very uncomfortable. You were doing something new. You're moving into your stretch zone. And then ultimately, you learned to read. Maybe it was the first time you learned to drive a car. Again, you got into this machine, with four wheels that can go very fast, that it can be potentially dangerous. You are out of your comfort zone. You are into your stretch zone as you learn to operate gears, the indicator, the gift sheet, the changing gears. Like I learned on a manual. Some of you are on automatic, but I had to learn on a manual. It was very painful. My father was teaching me, and all I remember was a lot of shouting. That's what I remember. It was very traumatic. And in the end, my father decided to go and hire somebody to teach me to drive. Yeah, I was crunching his gears and there was smoke coming out the back. So it wasn't good. It wasn't good. So all you guys can relate, right? When you first learned something new, a new skill, maybe you were learning how to operate a computer. Maybe you're learning how to type. Maybe you were learning how to play an instrument. Maybe you were learning, algebra at school. It was within, it wasn't in your comfort zone. It had to be in your stretch zone. And then once you learned and mastered it, it became your new comfort zone. So now driving, for most of you, you're probably not even thinking about changing gears or indicating. It just happens automatically. And you're already thinking of where you need to be, where you're going. You're just becoming aware of other cars, when you need to turn, what you're going to do when you get home. Has your husband made dinner? Are the kids all showered and so forth? Your mind is not even on operating the vehicle because it's all happening automatically. It's within your comfort zone. But at one point, it was in your stretch zone or maybe in your freak out zone, right? So whenever you move from your comfort zone to your stretch zone, it's going to feel uncomfortable, okay? At first, you may feel, I'm a fraud. I'm faking it. I'm only pretending to heal, or I'm only pretending to coach, or I don't know what I'm doing. What if they find out I don't know all the answers? What if I look like a fool and humiliate myself? What if this is not for me? What if this is just too hard? Or what if it's not worth it? Or what if I get there and it won't make me as much money as I think it will be? Or what if I get to really know him? He's not as good as I think he is, right? That's when you're hitting your upper limit and you're talking yourself out of it. So at first, it's going to feel uncomfortable. As you continue doing it over and over and over again, over and over, this is where you become aware, mindfully and consciously, I'm hitting my upper limit. That's why I'm feeling uncomfortable. That's why I'm getting this voice telling me all this BS, basically, yeah? Putting me down, making me feel not good enough because I'm hitting my upper limit. And so when you acknowledge, you go, thank you, ego, for your opinion. I'm going to keep going on. I'm going to keep soldiering on. I'm just going to keep going and push through. And eventually you'll start to over and over through practice, over and over again. So I'm talking to the healers on my call this evening. When you do a session, your first session, your second session, seventh session, you're going to start to get more confident. 10th session, 20th session, 30th session, 100th session. Do you think that after 100 sessions with somebody, 100 appointments of doing either massage or Reiki or theta healing, do you think you are going to be better than the first client session? Of course you are. Of course you are. You're going to be like 10 times better. Your first session, you may be a bit clumsy. You may be referring to your notes. You're thinking, oh, maybe I shouldn't charge because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not getting all the answers. Maybe the client's not getting it. And if you persist and get your second and your third, it's going to get easier. I promise you. Just like riding a bike or driving a car, it's going to get easier. But at first, it's going to feel uncomfortable. Okay? Right. So your stretch zone. And here's what happens, guys. Listen carefully. Listen. Are you listening? Okay. Right. So all of a sudden, you're earning 65. Yeah. All of a sudden, you're earning 65,000. 65,000. Then if you're earning 65,000 for a year or 2 years, this becomes your new comfort zone. And then maybe you're going to go to 80, 90, 100, 250, 500,000, a million. This is how you get into higher income. is that your as you start to get uncomfortable and practice, your stretch zone becomes your new comfort zone. Let me repeat that. Your stretch zone becomes your new comfort zone, and this becomes your stretch zone. Isn't that amazing? It's so simple. It's so simple, so obvious, but not always easy, right? Not always easy when we've got that monkey mind going, that monkey chatter that makes us afraid, that doubts our power. Yeah. So I'll be delving more into this deeply when I teach you Game of Life on the weekend. So for those of you who are coming, we're going to be delving deep and unpicking it and really exploring some of the beliefs that you come across when you hit your upper limit. This I'm a fraud, I'm not good enough, it's going to require twice as much work, my friends will get jealous because I'll outshine them, I'm not good enough, that I'm a mistake, there's something wrong with me, and feelings of like, that you'll be abandoned, or you'll abandon others who helped you along that journey. So this is what we're going to be working on at that class. So I'm going to do an energy clearing session because obviously I want to kind of give you massive value this evening. So for those of you who are not beta healers, an energy clearing session is when I connect to the group, everyone on the line, and as well as those who are listening to the recording. So if you're listening to the replay, you'll also benefit as well. So welcome if you listen to the replay. I'm going to be doing an energy clearing. So this is changing limiting beliefs into empowering ones on every level of your being. And this can only be done with your permission. Okay, so you don't have to say yes in the chat. You just say yes out loud. The creator, universal intelligence, God, whatever you call the energy, will hear that kind of your request, and the change will be done for you. This happens on a quantum field. So I'm literally reprogramming your mind for success. You guys ready? Yeah? Okay. All right. So I'm just going to close my eyes. I'm just going to tune into everyone listening. Oh, what a lovely energy. You guys have enjoyed this. Good. Good. It's one of my favorite topics. I really want everyone to be abundant and prosperous and shine their light. Okay. All right. So I'm going to ask the creator, I'm going to refer to the energy as the creator. Can the creator of all that is teach you and show you that you are worthy and deserving of infinite success? There is no limit on your success. Is that okay? And so you just need to say yes out loud. I don't need to hear it, but you've given me permission and the change will be made. This will be done in all levels and all languages. Can the creator teach you and show you what it feels like to live in a world full of infinite possibilities, infinite potential? To show that there is that anything is possible for you. Anything is possible. Can the creator of all this teach you and show you that you know how to make great decisions for yourself? What it feels like to trust your intuition to make great decisions. To teach you what it feels like to feel safe in moving from your comfort zone into stretch zone. To recognize when you're hitting your stretch zone and to transition through it with grace and ease. What it feels like to silence your ego, so you can acknowledge it and silence it, so you can listen to that inner wisdom, that inner voice that tells you you are worthy, you are deserving, anything is possible. If you believe it and work for it, you can have it. That feels better. Okay, so somewhere, someone told you you can only earn a certain amount of money and you believe them. This could be maybe a website that tells you the average income for a particular job title. And you think, oh, if it says it on the website, on some, reputable, directory or government organization, it tells you this is the maximum you can earn in a job description. Or it could be a friend that told you that, this is how much you're worth. Or maybe it was well-meaning, friends or parents that said, yep, this is how much you should be earning, that it's not possible for you to earn more. So I'm just going to ask Ray just to release that. Whoever told you that, or where you read it somewhere, or you heard it somewhere, where someone told you a number and that became your cap for how much you can earn per day, per week, per month, per year, and even in a lifetime. Okay, let's release any limits you have on how much income you can earn in a lifetime. Doesn't mean you have to work till the day you die, because you can, retire early, but just releasing any limit, any limit. So whoever that was that told you, then just release that now. Breathe, use your breath, breathe, let it go. It's kind of stuck in your base chakra. Breathe, good. Okay, well done, well done. Like you were holding on to it, like it was a truth, or somehow you thought it kept you safe. It's like your security blanket, like, oh, I'll never go below this. But actually, what it meant was you were never able to go above it. Um, yeah. Okay. So, for most people, in their DNA, this is an ancestral program. So, we inherit our beliefs from our ancestors, and collective consciousness is a fear of destitution. It's like a primal fear sitting in the primitive part of the brain around this fear of starving and dying. Now, obviously, this will never be a reality for you, highly unlikely, but your subconscious holds onto it as a form of protection. So I'm going to just shift the energy from the default of I just have to survive, or I'm only allowed just enough, to this energy of thriving. I have permission to shift your mindset into thriving, and that's just going to really start to open up the higher brain and start to access your creativity, innovation, resourcefulness. So breathe, allow that to come in. So I can see for some of your ancestors that this was a reality. There was maybe some famine, there was war. So I'm just going to allow the creator to do a healing on your ancestral line, anywhere that you felt, anywhere that you're holding on to this trauma of war or fear of starvation, just showing you that that's now over and that you're safe. Thank you. Releasing all the sorrow, all the sadness. Yeah, it's kind of running a lot of battle energy. Some of you feel like you have to battle through life, or battle to get a pay rise, or or really struggle, like your part of your identity is linked to struggle. So it's a belief in, like, I can't have it all. So it's like I can have money or love, but not both. And the title of this Facebook Live is, creating wealth in money and love. You can have both. It's not either or. So it's a belief around having to sacrifice, that you're asking too much from God. So can I release that belief that it's wrong to ask too much from God or the creator, and then to show that you can have plenty. When you have plenty, you can have others have plenty. And again, for some of you, for many of you, this is an upper limit. It's like, well, I've got plenty of money. I can't have love as well. It's just too much. Or I may have the most amazing man or woman in my life. No, I can't have lots of money. That's, then I'll lose the love. And I really love my partner. So we're just going to just unhook that belief that it's either or, and release it to both. You can have both at the same time. What that looks like and feels like. And the best of both. Doesn't mean you compromise, but you can have the best of both. There we go. Breathe, let it come in. Really accept it. Receive, let it come in. Nice. It's really starting to open up your energy, your heart's starting to open. The energy field around you is expanding. And as a result of this expanded state, you're going to come up with new ideas and new solutions that may have not been available to you before at the lower energy. So as you've raised your vibration with the work we've done this evening, you're going to start to get new ideas that will put you in, your stretch zone. But I want you to have the courage to take that step, that uncomfortable step towards your heart's desires. Oh, amazing. Amazing. You guys are doing so well. It's really integrating very nicely. Okay, good. Okay. So, um, keeping your eyes closed, keeping your eyes closed, I'm going to push you into your, well, yeah, it's not a freak out zone. I'm going to push you beyond the stretch zone into the grand vision for your life, the grand vision for your life. So if money was no object, right? If you had no limits on your income, okay, if you could do, be, have anything you want, what would it be? So with your eyes closed, I want you to envisage the kind of income you would like to earn every year. You would love to earn. Let go of how it's going to happen. The kind of income you would like to earn each and every year. Okay, that will give you a comfortable life, that will let you explore all your if you wanted to travel, you wanted to learn a new language, that will give you the freedom that you don't have to work all the time, that if you wanted to take 6 months off, you could. We have lots of freedom and flexibility, that your children can have their needs met, where you're not worrying about money, that way you have plenty. What is that figure for you? Okay, whatever figure you've got in your mind, double it, double it. Okay, it's going to feel a little bit alarming, a bit uncomfortable, like, oh no, I can't ask for that much. That's you hitting your upper limit. So acknowledge it and say, thank you for your opinion, but I'm going to go with this double amount that Anna said. Okay, see that number, and I want you to see that number in your bank account. See the zeros and the numbers before it in your bank account. Okay, I want you to feel the feelings as though you have that money in your account right now. Every year, that's what is deposited into your account. Could be on a weekly basis, monthly basis, but every year that's the total, that double amount. Okay. The uncomfortable feeling will start to shift and you will move into getting a little bit more familiar with that number. And so now I want you to imagine your life around this number. So now that you don't have to work all the time, you have this disposable passive income. Okay, maybe you've got like investments, property or shares. You've got money coming in that you don't have to work all the time. Money's making you money. Maybe it's an interest. Maybe it's an interest in a long-term savings account. Money's coming in. What are you going to do? What are you going to do with your life now that you don't have to work all the time? Because work takes up a lot of someone's life. We devote more than half our life to working, and between 25 to 40% of our income goes to the government. So you spend maybe a quarter, half your life working for the government. So now that you don't have to work so much, what are you going to do with your life? What are you going to do with your time? What have you always wanted to do? So when you start to build the grand vision of your life, what have you always wanted to do? All this infinite money in your bank account. You may be surprised what you come up with. Maybe you haven't thought of this before. Or maybe you've been dreaming of this for a long, long time, and you've been putting it off because your excuse has been, I don't have the money. That's an upper limit belief. It's not the real truth. You've convinced yourself. There's a convenient excuse. But the truth is you were just scared. You were scared to have this big dream. So as I'm tuning in, I'm hearing people who want to have like healing centers, like wellness centers. I'm seeing people who want to travel the world. I've been shown philanthropy projects and initiatives. So some of you want to go into sort of third world countries. I'm being shown like schools. Some of you want to build schools or bring Theta healing into schools. So education. Okay, so I'm being shown like wanting to grow and develop, so getting like world-class coaches. Okay, what else? What else? I really want you to paint that vision. No limits. So if you only had to work for half the year, what would you do with the other 6 months of your life without getting bored? Would you write a book, a bestseller? Would you love to get on stage and inspire thousands or millions? And if some of you are a bit scared to really go this far, and that's okay, that's all right. Okay. Okay, so now you're going to ask the universe, the creator, what is my next step? What is my next step to receive this grand vision and make it a reality for my life? Trust your first thought. Take a nice deep breath and open your eyes. Okay. How do you guys feel? I'd love to hear. Okay. What was your double amount? What was your double amount as the number that you put down as how much money you need in order to feel financially free? What was your figure after I told you to double it? Not the original figure, but after. I'd love to hear. You guys did really, really well, really well. There was some deep healing that was done. There's obviously more work to do. There's more work to do. Working on your belief systems is an ongoing process. It's not a 5-minute, magic bullet. It's ongoing work. But here's the thing: when you start to invest in working on yourself, whether it's a book, whether it's booking an appointment with a practitioner, whether it's booking a course, when you start to work on yourself, maybe it's if you're a practitioner doing healing stops with somebody, when you start working on yourself, you start to see changes. And I know some of you are my students. You know that when you do healing on yourself, you see rapid changes. The next day, the next week, things start to happen. And I'll be honest, I'm a living testament. I was on 25,000 a year. 25,000 a year. Now, for some people, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. And back then, yes, it was a lot of money for me. But as I got married and I had children, there were more responsibilities. It just wasn't covering it. And I needed to find a way to continue to increase my income. And I've been able to bust through my upper limit. And it's not always easy. It's not always easy when you're battling against your thinking that says, "Who do you think you are? You're not that good. Maybe you're a fraud. You're just pretending. It's too much. It's going to require more hard work. There'll be sacrifices involved, and so forth." These are all the beliefs that I've been working on, and I've been helping my students work on to clear, so that they could also transition from their comfort zone into their stretch zone, to make their stretch zone their new comfort zone. So it's really been exciting to watch, some of my students really bust through their upper limit and literally double, triple their income. I'm just so proud. I'm just so proud of some of my students who've really, really taken this work, taken it further, applied it, and had the massive changes. This is a phenomenal technique to rapidly change limiting beliefs into empowering ones, to really, really get the life that you want on every level. We've had like people meet soulmates through our classes. It's not just always about income. People have, had amazing, health challenges resolved, anxiety free, depression free, medication free. It's just such a joy. It's such a joy when people are really stepping and living their life purpose. And so I've been manifesting to work with the fake changes of the planet, the people that are going to make changes in this world. So that's who I've been calling in to come and learn with me, to study with me, to coach with me. That's who I really would love. So if that's you, I would love for you to join us in this journey, either in private sessions or in classes or even in a coaching capacity. This is who I want to really help to start making a bigger impact, so that, because if we rise, everyone will rise. Everyone will rise. This is my goal, is that I leave a legacy on this planet, that I leave it in a much better place than when I arrived. And if you're on this Facebook Live, maybe you feel this way too. Maybe that's why you were drawn. You may have not heard of me, never met me, found yourself listening to this, and you're feeling the call, you're feeling the pull, you're feeling you're being called to greatness. And so now's the time. Now's the time. So I invite you to join me. So if you're a Thea Healing practitioner, I'm doing the Game of Life class. This is one of my favorite classes to teach. So I'm going to post that into the chat, so you've got that link. Um, yeah, I would love for you to join me in Game of Life. I know I've just seen Polly. Polly's done the class twice, guys, twice. So each time she comes, she increases her income. So Polly's saying her figure is 20 million. I love it. I love it. Awesome. Marion's saying 4 million. Amazing. 4 million every year. How would it feel to have 4 million every year? How much freedom that would give you? How many people you could help with that money? No. Maria's saying $1 million. I like it. Hanan's saying 10 million. I like it. Very nice. What else have we got? 10 million. 10 million. We've got lots of millions. Amazing. Amazing. Because you guys, $1 million doesn't go very far these days. I'll be honest. Inflation, it's getting us. Brittany saying 200K was my double. Okay, Brittany. So we need to work on stretching you even further. But that's good. That's good. So if you have 200K coming in every single year, how would that feel? Wow. Emilia's saying 200 million. Nice. I like it. I like it. Just Sarah saying 1 million. Robbie is saying 200 million. I'm loving this. Okay, so yeah, when you really put yourself in that vision, because it's one thing to say, oh yeah, I'd like to make 200 million every year, but when you start to close your eyes and you start to feel, what would it feel like to have that money in your account every single year? How much freedom that would give you, and what you would do when you have all your needs met? Because after you've bought like 10 cars, 10 Rolex watches, like you're going to get bored. You will, because I know millionaires and billionaires who've done that. They've got lots of cars in the garage, Rolexes till the cars come home, and they're bored. And so what they realized was their fulfillment came from serving others, helping others. So some of them are creating initiatives in third world countries, bringing self-development into some of these third world countries. They're serving others, and that's when they're getting fulfilled. They're using their money to help other people. And that's what gives the motive to keep going. That's why they want to earn more money, not because they need another Rolex or another Mercedes Benz. Is because they want to help more people, and that really lights them up and gets them out of bed. So when you get to your 2 million a year, 200 million a year, you'll buy the stuff that you've always wanted, and you'll find actually it's not as fulfilling as you thought it was. It's nice to have those things, but then you're going to shift to be of greater service, where you'll be doing your life's work, your soul's work here on the planet, helping others. So part of our purpose and our divine timing is to really empower other people. So Viva's saying 3 million KN. So I'm not sure what that currency is, but 3 million in any country is a lot. 1,160,000. That's 200,000. Oh, amazing. I'm loving this. So thank you for joining me this evening. I'd love to have you guys join me on the Feeling Game of Life class. So if you've done basic, advanced, and dig deeper, you can join me on the Feeling Game of Life class. This is the class where we're going to be shifting you from your comfort zone into your stretch zone, and ultimately into your super stretch zone. That's where we want to get you to, whatever that figure is for you. I'm here to support you. So you're going to be looking at some of your subconscious beliefs that really hold you back. And where each time you hit the upper limit, what are those beliefs you're hearing? We're going to start to bust through those blocks, break down those illusions, because they're just stories you've bought and sold yourself. And you'll be clearing beliefs around parental obligations, letting go of the fear of judgment of others, fear of letting others down, fear of leaving others behind, releasing obligations to what your parents wanted you to be, and really shifting from the passenger seat to the driver's seat of your life, and ultimately, manifesting the life that you want, connecting with your divine timings. I'll be talking about divine timings in that class. We do divine timing readings. These are more than just life purposes and goals. This is things that you came here to do on a global scale, and ultimately visioning your life that you want to create, beyond just your current stretch zone. That if you have plenty of money, what are you going to do with your life? Okay, because what you'll do is you'll sabotage your income because you're afraid you'll get bored if you have too much money. So really making bigger plans, making bigger visions. And the class is so much fun. It's so much fun. It's got a very strong coaching style, this class. And the group of students is always amazing. The people that come to these classes, they're all very supportive, loving, ambitious people who really want to make a change in the world. So we have a really beautiful community at Bergeron. We have students travel internationally come to our classes in London. And we create a beautiful safe space to really explore your infinite potential, really push you to see what you're truly capable of. So I invite you to join us on Game of Life. If you've not done theta healing at all, then obviously a good place to start would be the Theta Healing Basic course. So if you go to the website bergeron.co.uk, you can check out the Theta Healing Basic course. So you can book the foundation package, basic and advanced, and you'll save some money. So I would love for you to join us at the courses. And thank you so much. So I'm planning to do this regularly. I'll be checking my calendar. So once I've got my head around which is the best day, it might be a Tuesday or Wednesday, not sure yet, but I'll give you plenty of notice. Each week there'll be a new theme with an energy clearing session. So I hope you enjoy those. Share these Facebook Lives with friends who need this, who need this story, who need this lesson, who need this healing and transformation. Because as I said, if you rise, we all rise. Thank you so much. God bless.